If yes, can you give me a thumbs up, please? Okay, thank you. And can you see my screen now? Okay, sige. I'll just pause from time to time again, no, if there are students who will be joining. But for now, we can proceed, no, with the last topic for our subject, which is the chromosomal disorders. Now, the discussion material that was given to you last time was about the some a bit still of chromosome nomenclature, but also incorporating the aberrations. Now, aberrations are a bit different from a disorder, um, meaning to say na when you say aberration, yun yung nangyari, kaya nagkaroon ng disorder. So example, nadagdagan ng isang chromosome or nabawasan ng isang chromosome, nagkaroon ng translocation, lumipat yung isang part ng chromosome papunta dun sa kabila, yun yung aberration, no? That is the phenomenon that happened that led to a disorder. So the disorders will be tackled, no, in this topic. So let's proceed with the first slide. So for the first one, we have here autosomal monosomy. Now, yung monosomy, it is a type of aneuploidy. So aneuploidy. And again, when we say aneuploidy, anything that is deviating from the normal number of chromosomes. Diba? Ang normal number ng chromosome natin, 46. Kapag sumobra or nagkulang dun sa number na yon, we can collectively call it as an aneuploidy. Now, under aneuploidy, we have different kinds, one of which is your autosomal monosomy. Oops, sorry. So don't worry pala, no, I will upload also a copy of this one, a copy of the discussion material so that you can just focus on listening now. And then later, if you want to go back, I'll upload a copy of our discussion today. So going back, autosomal monosomy, this is known to be the most common example ng aneuploidy natin. So from the name itself, nagkakaroon ng pagbawas sa number ng chromosome. So instead of 46, no, nababawasan ng isa, kaya monosomy. We can write monosomy down as 2n minus 1. So there is a loss of one chromosome which produces this kind of disorder. Now, autosomal monosomy is known to be a lethal condition. Bakit? Kasi usually, ang natitira na lang, di ba usually dapat in pair sila. Kaso, since nawawala ng isang copy ng chromosome like this one, usually, yung naiiwan na chromosome, it's not enough to continue on with life. Kaya lethal yung condition na to. Now, that kind of phenomenon wherein yung naiwan na lang na isa ay hindi kaya magpatuloy or hindi kaya, not capable of life, we call that as haploinsufficiency. Haploinsufficiency. Now, since there is only a copy na lang, no, of that gene, it's not that enough or adequate to provide good function for sustaining the whole organism. Now, this one can happen even in animals, not just humans, no, or even in plants. So that is your autosomal monosomy. Now, we have another which we call your autosomal trisomy. From the name itself, may idea na ulit tayo, no? Kung ano yung nangyari doon sa disorder. Kung kanina nabawasan ng isa, monosomy, ito trisomy kasi instead of a pair, nadagdagan pa ng isa. Kaya instead of just two, naging tatlo siya. Kaya trisomy. This is also known as the most lethal, most conditions are known to be lethal kasi hindi lang naman sa pagbawas nagkakaroon ng lethality but also kapag nadadagdagan and As a matter of fact, about 50% ng cases yung nagkakaroon ng fetal death. So from the fetus pa lang, no, fetal death, it's either inside the womb or pagkalabas po nung baby, just a matter of months or pinakamatagal na yung year, pwedeng maging or pwedeng mamatay yung pinaka-offspring. Now, your trisomy can be differentiated into these examples. Ang pinagkakaiba nila kung saang number of pair nagkakaroon ng addition, no? But take note, this all are occurring sa autosomes, kaya autosomal trisomy. So, hindi natin muna gagalawin yung mga sex chromosomes na X and XY. So, itong autosomal trisomy, doon pala siya nadadagdagan sa autosomes. Now, kapag doon siya nadagdag sa 13th pair, trisomy 13, we can call that as the Patau syndrome. Pwede rin po siyang isulat as this one, 47, plus 13. Bakit kaya ganon? Kasi again, the normal number of chromosomes are 46 lang. Eh since in this one, nadagdagan ng isa, naging 47, no? 47, and then, nilagay niya after kung saan po nadagdag ng isang chromosome. So in Patau syndrome, we can write it as 47 kasi 47 yung total number of chromosomes now, and saan nadagdag yung extra na chromosome sa 13th na pair, no? Or 13th location dun sa karyotype. Next, we have here trisomy 18, also known as the Edwards syndrome. Similarly, since nadagdagan, we can write it as 47, the location kung saan nadagdag yung chromosome, so plus 18. So, hindi ibig sabihin nadagdagan ng 18 chromosomes, no? Hindi ganon. Ibig sabihin, isa yung nadagdag dun sa pair, and yung isa na yon doon napunta sa pang 18th. Here, no? Sa 18 siya kumabit. Now, trisomy 21, this is a more common example. We know this as your Down syndrome. So 47 ulit kasi nagsobra ng isa, and then saan nadagdag yung isa na yon sa 21st na pair here, no? So we can discuss them further. Let's start with trisomy 21. Now, yung trisomy 21, or also known as the Down syndrome, actually this is the only, or ito yung more commonly known as a trisomy wherein sumusobra ng a year yung buhay ng affected individual. So yung mga susunod natin, if you'll notice na trisomy, usually bata pa lang, less than 1 year, or exactly a year after birth, namamatay na sila. But in this case, sa Down syndrome, they are capable of living a lifespan of even 30s, 40s, no? That is for your Down syndrome. Now, it is named as such kasi yung naka-discover din ng disorder na to, may Down dun sa pangalan. So, the one who discovered this back in 1866 is Langdon Down. Langdon Down. So, hence the name Down syndrome. Now, again, yung condition na to, it is known to result from a trisomy or the addition sa 21st pair. And this is known to be the leading cause of mental retardation and heart defects in the United States. Ang itsura nila, usually they have wide flat skulls, may skin folds in the corner of their eyes, spots on their irises, and they have thick furrowed tongues. When we say furrowed, they are usually lined with folds or wrinkled yung area. So those are the characteristics of a person with Down syndrome. Now, if we're going to take a look at this graph, no, we can notice that the Down syndrome births or yung frequency ng ipinapanganak na offspring or individual na may Down syndrome is related also, can be related to maternal age, kung kailan nagbuntis at kung kailan pinanganak yung mga persons with Down syndrome. So nasaan yung rise nagsisimula usually at a maternal age of 30, doon nagsa-start yung rise. And then eventually it will lead to a tenfold increase to a frequency of 1 in 100 pagdating ng 40 years of age. So from this graph alone, we can correlate na as the maternal age increases pala, directly proportional din yung frequency na yung anak nila nagkakaroon din ng Down syndrome. So mas matanda nagbuntis, mas matanda ng anak yung female, higher din yung chance that the offspring can have this disorder, yung ating trisomy 21. Next, we have trisomy 18 or known as the Edwards syndrome. Again, kaya 18 kasi nandun po yung addition ng extra natin na chromosome. So this is found in 1 is to 11,000 births. And then the average survival time is usually 2 to 4 months. Then afterwards, lethality na. Now, besides Down syndrome, meron lang dalawa, no? Aside from Down syndrome nung kanina, there are just two human trisomies, walang monosomy, no? Monosomy usually mas lethal yon than the trisomy. So there are only two trisomies that usually are related to offspring surviving to full term. Ibig sabihin, nakaka-survive yung bata with a trisomy disorder after a full term of pregnancy, ipapanganak sila, nabubuhay pa din. Dalawa lang aside from Down syndrome. Ano yung dalawa pa na yon? Yung Edwards syndrome at saka yung Patau syndrome. Pero doon sa tatlo na yon, yung Down, Edwards, saka Patau, usually ang pinakamatagal na nabubuhay yung mga merong Down syndrome. Kasi ito, yung Edwards syndrome, average lang is up to 4 months of age. Now, usually, kaya po namamatay din sila agad kasi yung mga malformations brought about by this disorder, medyo severe. Kasi yung malformations, hindi lang dun sa physical appearance ng offspring, but also sa visceral organs, specifically the heart. No? So merong malformation sa heart, may malformation din sa kanilang hands, and also their feet. So another na nakaka-survive to full term is the Patau syndrome, wherein the additional chromosome dun kumakabit sa chromosome 13. No, dun sa pair in the chromosome 13. This is still known to be lethal kasi out of the three, ito yung mas may maiksi na survival time. Kung kanina, yung Down syndrome, may mga umaabot ng 30s, 40s, even 50s, no? Yung iba, blessed pa to even reach senior years. Yung Edwards syndrome naman kanina, mga 2 to 4 months, no? Pero ito, yung may mga Patau syndrome, ang average survival time nila is only a month. So they are known to have facial malformations, and then more severe yung malformations nila than those with Edwards syndrome. Kasi yung kanina, no, ang specify lang sa heart, pero ito maraming visceral organs or internal organs that might be affected also, like the brain, nervous system, including also the heart. Now, those trisomies, again, are affecting the autosomes, but there are also disorders na ang naapektuhan din ay yung sex chromosome. So, starting with the Turner syndrome. Ang Turner syndrome, scientifically, their gender, when they arrived, no, when their parents gave birth to them, technically they are female. Kaso they noticed once they checked the karyotype, instead of 2 X's, na normal sa isang female, isa lang yung X na nakikita. So what did you notice dun sa number na katabi? Nabawasan than the normal. Kung kanina trisomy na dagdagan, so dadagdagan natin ng isa, yung total number of chromosome. Eh ito, nabawasan eh. Instead of double X, isa lang, kaya 45 yung number. So this can be written as 45 comma X. Pag nakita nyo po yan, this is related to what we call a Turner syndrome. Turner syndrome, usually, meron pa rin silang mga female genitalia kasi I told you earlier, di ba? Gender, scientifically speaking, their gender upon birth is that they are females. So yung mga genitalia, internal organs, that of a female pa din. Pero since kulang yung chromosome, kulang din yung mapoproduce or yung function will also be affected. So yes, meron silang female genitalia, yes, they have ovaries, etc. Kaso yung term na ginamit is that the organs are rudimentary. When we say rudimentary, underdeveloped, not functioning well, no? So that rudimentary organs may also lead to their sterility, yung baog, no? Hindi sila capable of producing an offspring. So aside from mental challenges, merong actually no mental dysfunction, but some behavior are still affected in this type of syndrome. And they have also puffy hands and feet, parang edematous, no? Medyo namamaga yung kanilang hands and feet, and some abnormalities of the aorta. Now ano pa, since hindi din fully developed yung kanilang organs, pati yung physical characteristics nila, hindi sila fully that of a female. Kaya meron sila na hindi naman meaning to say, hindi na e-enhance yung male characteristics, no? Hindi ganon. Hindi lang fully na-develop. Kasi example, sa secondary na sexual characteristics of a female from an infant, naging teen, no? And then as they transition to a teen, normally, yung mga chest na de-develop, no? Yung breast na de-develop or nagkakaroon ng forte, yung bandang waist. Kapag yung female or the person affected with Turner syndrome, hindi fully nagde-develop yung mga ganong karakteristik. So yung breast nila hindi ganon lumalaki, nagiging broader na lang yung shoulders nila, broad din yung kanilang chest, kaya parang shield-like nga yung pagkaka-describe, no? Shield-like daw sa sobrang broad ng kanilang chest. And also wala yung nagiging courting pait, no? Nagkakaroon ng slimmer waist. Usually, hindi nagkakaroon ng ganon yung mga patients with Turner syndrome. Now, not just females, no? Basta sex chromosomes, they can affect either a female or a biological male, no? Pwede ring maapektuhan. So in this case, Klinefelter syndrome, upon birth, they are males. Kaso nagkakaroon ng extra na X. So ano kaya mangyayari dito? Nagkakaroon ng underdeveloped na male characteristic, tapos medyo nabuboost naman yung female characteristics kasi nagkaroon ng extra na X. So that is the Klinefelter syndrome. Sumobra ulit kaya 47 yung total number of chromosomes, XXY. This can be evident in 1 into 1,000 births. And then, applicable din dito yung term na rudimentary. Kasi yes, even if they have the X and Y chromosome for the male characteristics, kaso ito sumasapaw, no? Yung isang X na chromosome. Kaya instead of just fully developing the complete functions also of the male, lumalaban yung isa pang X na chromosome. Kaya yes, they will have genitalias, etc., that of a male, kaso poorly developed and not functioning well, leading also to sterility. Now, studies show that 60% of the cases is due to maternal non-disjunction. So if you can still recall yung ating topic back in meiosis, di ba nagkakaroon ng pag-join together ng isang chromosome from the father at isang chromosome from the mother. Now, sa sobrang pagdikit ng dalawang chromosomes na yon, nagkakaroon ng crossing over, nagkakaroon ng chiasmata. So yung mga point of reference or point of contact nung dalawang chromosome na yon, doon nagkakaroon ng recombination, nagpapalitan sila ng DNA material. Kaya di ba nagko-combine yung characteristics ni mother and characteristics ni father. After that, yung link ng chromosomes na yon, di ba dapat natatanggal? Kaso, merong mga cases that leads to non-disjunction, hindi naghihiwalay yung mga chromosomes na yon. So it's either natatangay nung isang chromosome, kaya kapag napunta sa isang cell, nagiging tatlo, XXY, or since kinuha yung isa na dapat ka-partner ng isa, yung isa naman nagiging stand-alone, no? That usually happens in autosomal monosomy. So, yun yung non-disjunction. After mag-recombine, hindi nagkaroon ng terminalization, hindi naghiwalay yung dalawang chromosome, yung chiasmata, yung nakakulupot, yung mga legs, no, or arms ng chromosome, still nakadikit sa isa't isa. So 60% of these cases are known or studied to be due to maternal non-disjunction. Others, we have the Jacob syndrome. Kung kanina XXY, ngayon naman XYY. So 47 XYY. So ang extra dito is the Y chromosome. So hindi lang pala kapag nadagdagan ng isa pang X, nagkakaroon also ng rudimentary or poorly developed na mga male characteristics. Also kapag sumobra ng Y, kasi it's not normal dapat XY lang, no? The usual symptoms, physical symptoms that we see in persons with Jacob syndrome are the following. Usually, mas matangkad sila than the average. Merong hypotonia. So, pag nakita niyo yung hypotonia or hypotonicity, same as with muscle weakness din yon or low yung kanilang muscle tone. Very curved ang kanilang pinky finger, widely spaced yung eyes, and they usually have cystic acne during adolescence. Pag sinabing cystic acne, masyadong malalaki, pus formers yung kanilang acne than the usual. So, kaya Jacob syndrome din yung tawag dito kasi nakadiscover nito yung isang scientist that went to a Scottish prison, Scottish Maximum Prison. Nag-conduct lang siya ng study doon, and in turn, Scottish Maximum Prison, and in turn, ang nakita niya yung mga patients na merong Jacob syndrome. Napansin niya kasi dun sa out of 315 males na nakita niya, out of 315, merong 9 dito na parang pare-pareho sila na may antisocial behavior. Then nung tinignan nila, hindi naman linked to a heinous crime, hindi ganun kagrabe yung mga nagawa nilang criminal acts. Now, na-curious siya, no? Tinignan niya up to a DNA molecular level yung characteristics ng mga ng 9 na yon, no? And then nakita niya pare-pareho after karyotyping na meron silang ganitong klase ng chromosome variations, no? So sobra ng isa and then nakakabit doon sa sex chromosome XYY. So that scientist is Patricia Jacobs. So Patricia Jacobs. Kaya doon kinoin yung term na Jacob syndrome. Now, there is another variation wherein naging tatlo na yung X chromosome. So, initial gender is still a female, kaso sumobra na ng isa. Actually, yung may mga disorder or those individual having this syndrome, usually normal naman yung kanilang development and you will not be aware that they have this syndrome unless nag-request specifically ng karyotyping, no? So, hindi ganun ka-evident, hindi ganun ka-noticeable yung effects kasi they are just mild Kasi kala nila medyo slow lang, slow learner yung offspring, no? Meron silang kinda a bit of learning disabilities and some behavioral problems that some teens might also have. Pero yun pala, meron na silang trisomy X or also known as triplo X. Triplo X. Now again, hindi lang pala sa Down syndrome affected or related yung maternal age. Even in different aneuploidies, we can correlate that as the maternal age increases, starting from the age of 30 hanggang umabot pa ng 45, kasi yes, meron pa rin mga nagbubuntis na mga 45 years old, no? So, mas mataas yung chance nila. Hindi naman sinabing, ano, no? Hindi naman sinabing of course or sure na kapag nagbuntis ng ganitong edad, magkakaroon na ng ganitong mga syndrome. Yung mga offspring, hindi ganon, no? High lang yung chance, no, na magkakaroon din sila ng offspring with this kinds of syndromes if they are also um, getting pregnant and giving birth in these ages na 30 or above, no? Mas malaki yung chance nila. But still, genetics play a role to this. Hereditary din siya, no? So kung meron din silang mga previous na kamag-anak, no, in the lineage, in the pedigree, somewhere up there, no, mas nakakadagdag din po ng chance yon na magkaroon sila ng ganong offspring. Now again, yung not just the maternal age will be related to this one. Ano pa yung mga phenomenon that usually leads to this kinds of syndrome? Sa meiosis pa lang, no, yung non-disjunction during the process of recombination. Kasi kaya nga nagkaroon ng recombination, doon na nagkadikit eh, no? Yung mga parts ng chromosomes, yung mga homologs natin. Kaso, at a specific time na dapat maghihiwalay na yung mga chromosomes na yun, hindi naghiwalay, naghatakan lang. So again, yung sa isang side, so sobra, yung sa isang side naman, magkukulang. So pwedeng dun sa pool ng cells, meron doon na may trisomy, meron doon na may aneuploidy. And then it will just be manifested depende sa kung anong makukuha ng offspring. Now, other variations, we have the cri du chat syndrome, no? Cri du chat, this is a French term which means the cry of a cat. Kasi yung mga patients having the cri du chat syndrome, yung iyak ng mga offspring, yung mga baby, para daw very eerie, strange, or some medyo nakakatakot pa yung sound ng kanilang cry because of this syndrome, no? Sounds like a cat yung kanilang cry. Kaya krido siya yung tawag sa syndrome na to. What usually happens is that there is a deleted part on the chromosome. Merong deletion. Sa sobrang liit, no, nung deletion, hindi ganong nakikita agad. Now, we can term that as a partial deletion. Kaso sa sobrang liit, no? Hindi na siya tinawag na partial lang kasi partial parang mga 50%, ganyan. Eh kaso, since the part that is missing is so small, hindi na partial deletion yung tawag sa kanya. Just a segment, no? Segmental. This is known to be a segmental kind of deletion. Saan? Sa chromosome number 5. Now, bakit kaya ganun yung mga cry ng offspring with cri du chat syndrome? Kasi merong mga parts ng kanilang vocal cords or areas na malapit sa vocal cords na underdeveloped. Underdeveloped or poorly developed. Specifically, yung glottis. Yan, may malformation or underdevelopment of the glottis and also their larynx. So that is the key characteristics of patients with cri du chat syndrome. Next, we have the Prader-Willi syndrome. So pronounced as V yung W. So might be because of its German origin. Kasi sa Germany, di ba yung W ay pronounced as V, no? This is Prader-Willi syndrome. Na ano namang nangyayari sa may mga Prader-Willi syndrome? Dito, merong deletion din, no? Deletion Okay, this is a highlighter for a while. So there is a deletion specifically saan? Sa chromosome number 15. Chromosome number 15, and we can write it as 15q1 kasi specifically doon sa region ng long arm yung deletion. And then aside from that, tatandaan na yung na-delete na chromosome 15 dun sa part ng long arm ng chromosome 15 ay yung mismong chromosome that is coming from the father. So ulitin ko, yung natanggal na part, yung sa paternal side, deletion of the paternal chromosome 15. So why is that important? Kasi meron pang isa na deletion din ng chromosome 15 pero yung natanggal naman yung maternal. So going back, kung ang na-delete ay chromosome 15 na paternal chromosome, ano yung natira? Ang matitira yung maternal chromosome 15. Okay? So natanggal paternal, natira yung maternal na complete, no? Complete chromosome 15. Now, ako ang tinatandaan ko na lang, no, para mabilis ko maalala, yung Prader kasi, no, it sounds like father. So, yun na lang yung keyword ko. So, Prader-Willi syndrome, deletion of the chromosome 15, specifically that of the long arm, and specifically coming from the father's chromosome. So what usually happens dun sa may mga Prader-Willi syndrome, sobrang di nila makontrol yung kanilang sense of hunger. Lagi silang gutom. So since laging gutom, kung pagbibigyan yun, edi kakain ng kakain, hyperphagia. May hyperphagia, kain ng kain. So kain ng kain would lead to obesity. They also have underdeveloped genitals, some behavior problems, hypopigmentation, kaya medyo mapuputi yung may mga Prader-Willi syndrome. And they also have cognitive impairment. Now, kapag cognitive impairment kasi, ang usually na naapektuhan, yung kanilang decisions in life, they are not capable of thinking of complex emotions, complex scenarios. So, yung mga critical thinking skills, medyo lacking sila doon. Yun doon sila nahihirapan sa mga decisions, no? Complex emotions also like envy, jealousy, sa iba mga complex emotions yun eh. Hindi nila ganong ma-distinguish from the other simple emotions as happy, sad, anger, etc. So that is for the Prader-Willi. Now, I told you earlier na meron pang isa na deletion ng chromosome 15. Pareho long arm din, but this time sa maternal naman. So, maternal chromosome 15q1. Long arm pa din, chromosome 15, pero again, yung natanggal, nagkakaroon ng deletion dun sa maternal chromosome. So, anong maiiwan? Yung paternal, no? So, na-delete sa part ng maternal chromosome, naiwan paternal na normal yung chromosome, Angelman syndrome po yan. Now, Angelman, yung kinoin na term, kasi usually, yung key characteristics ng offspring with Angelman syndrome, lagi silang nakasmile, no? They are always laughing, they're always smiling. Kaya they are compared to that of an angel, no? So we have here Angelman syndrome. What else? We have 1p36 deletion. So, 1p, may idea na kayo na nandun siya banda sa short arm, no? Sa short arm, kaya P kasi P for petite, no? Q for Q na long arm. So, 1p36. So, 36 pala, sorry, not 36. So, we read it as 1p36. So, digit by digit. So, this kind of deletion syndrome is related also to a loss of kind of a muscle weakness, may hypotonia. Some can also have seizures, limited yung kanilang speech ability, may malformations, and is usually present in every 5,000 to 10,000 births. And then lastly, we have the Philadelphia chromosome. So if you have already, um, if you already took hematology, especially Hema 1, no, baka nabanggit na rin to doon. Kasi this specific translocation is related to CML, more commonly CML or the chronic myelogenous leukemia, and some sa ALL or the acute lymphoblastic leukemia. So what usually happens, ang nagta-translocate, no, itong ABL from a normal chromosome 9, lumilipat siya papunta dun sa chromosome 22. So yung ABL kasi natin, usually ang function niyan is to signal growth hormone normally. So kung may kailangan na i-produce, isa yan sa mga tatapek, no, dun sa growth hormone na kailangan nating dagdagan yung cells. Normal response yun. Eh since nag-translocate na yung ABL to a different location, no, it is now termed as the BCR-ABL. Nagkaroon ng fusion yung BCR ng chromosome 22 and the ABL from the chromosome 9. So this time, ganun din yung ginagawa niya. Nagsisignal din siya, nagpo-produce pa rin ng growth hormone, but this time without a signal. So even if hindi kailangan, usually naman nagsisignal kapag kinakailangan eh. Something is too high, so our body has its way to signal a few components para pababain yung mataas na yon. But this time, nung nag-translocate na siya, kahit hindi kailangan, produce ng produce. Kaya dumadami ngayon yung white blood cells, no, leading to a type of leukemia. So that is your Philadelphia chromosome, a translocation of a gene from chromosome 9, yung ABL, and then yung chromosome 22 na BCR. So after they break from their original location, nagko-combine sila forming a new entity. So BCR-ABL, ito yung abnormally will produce even without signals. So that is all for our topic for today. And then again, this is already the last topic. Please don't go yet as I will take the attendance, no, your final attendance for this semester. So for a while, I will just put up your attendance. Hi, regarding tri-hybrid cross, nag-announce na ako no? I already uploaded a sample regarding the tri-hybrid cross, no? And also, yung tri-hybrid cross na yon, I will utilize as your OBE activity. So, kung sasabihin ko yung sagot dun, no, lahat kayo, mapa-perfect nyo na. So, relate it to the example of the tri-hybrid cross na uploaded before. Kung binuksan nyo yon, nag-take note kayo, you can you can go back to the tri-hybrid cross activity. And then if you want to edit a part of it, you can do so. Kasi as long as tama yung naging procedure nyo, edi full points for OBE. Also, I have been receiving emails regarding special quizzes. So I will just reiterate, no, just to be fair with everybody, I will only accept excuse slips. Ha? Kasi guidance office na po yung nag-verify nun no? So if they have verified, you have followed their terms, kung ano po yung dapat gawin, since nabanggit din naman po yun during orientation. So I'm sure you will get one. So kung di po nagbigay ng excuse slip, you cannot take the special quiz. So before I take your attendance pala, no, so let me take this opportunity to thank everyone for this semester, no. So thank you everyone for attending classes, even if you can make up excuses to not attend your